security detail. They were dispatched after I relayed the union's initial offer, a member of the board. I tried to convince my employer it was simply a piece of rhetoric or a joke. Absolutely not. These mercenaries are muscle, pure and simple. They are meant to intimidate Crenel, an Oronese military company. As far as I know, 3 arrived in Martin. They wear ceramic armor, have semi-automatic weapons, and years of combat experience. They also have the story is, one of them, the colonel, I don't know his real name, sexually assaulted a local woman while he was drunk and separated from... He was taken out behind the whirling in rags and lynched last Sunday night. Nothing. Mr. Clare refuses to let me into the harbor. I have not been able to discuss this matter with anyone there. The remaining 2 Crenel contractors carry out their orders, for now. It's a smokescreen. In secret, they are conducting an independent military tribunal into the lynching. Once this investigation is concluded, executions will follow. It was the Union who strung him from that tree. My hope is that you provide a single concrete suspect before Crenel indiscriminately pick theirs. Simply put, if you don't pin this on someone good and do it fast, they will identify and execute everyone present at the lynching. This in turn will force the Union to respond.
They would have to project strength. The Union has over 2,000 men.
Have you ever seen a hornet invade a beehive, detective? It's not pretty.
The Serai's giant hornet, the world's 2nd largest insect, can kill 40 honeybees a minute, while a group of 30 can decimate an entire hive of 20,000 bees in less than 4 hours.
These men work in tandem using semi- and fully automatic firearms. Their armor is virtually impenetrable to muzzle-loaded weapons. As I said, a bloodbath. I am sorry to confirm it. Too many things have already gone wrong. Nameless, badgeless, detective of the citizens' militia. All we can do is keep the little that is not from following suit. One single concrete suspect delivered into civil court, and I may be able to defuse this situation. Not much. Their public resume is relatively good, as far as private military contractors go.
Down a deep, black well.
They boast a long list of clients. Saint-Baptiste, Welchman-Lorenz, Eintracht. Sadly, no. Before this happened, I had little interest. If you still have access to the ICP's database, you could run a better background check than I ever could. It may take some time, though. Ah, yes, your condition. The International Collaborative Police maintains a database for these sorts of things. I have, and they will. However, these orders take time to reach what is basically a rogue unit out.
She's being truthful. She is pressing them as hard as she can.
Or he didn't. This is information passed on to me from some teenagers loitering around the canal. I cannot testify by it. The remaining contractors, they're that the man was killed because he assaulted a local woman. I've asked around a bit. This seemed last Sunday night, at the Whirling in Rags. Either way, he's alleged to have sexually assaulted a woman. Sometime later, that's a good question, officer. I don't have the slightest idea.
You meet her soon enough, you feel?
If you mean, did I see him alive?
You don't know how you know. It's not written on her face, nor in her voice, but she had sympathy for this man.
Liked? is a bit strong. He was a most Lely, his service name, a nom de guerre most likely. He wouldn't divulge his full name. Only one of them did. A bad sign if one is a man, Corty, they call him, a nickname as well. The other a woman, Phyllis de Paul. He was 40, or 50. He was, Occidental, I think. In a way, it was humanizing. He had to learn to speak through it. They've gone to ground, as it were. I don't recommend seeking them out. For one, they don't have the same respect for the Revachol citizens' militia as I do.
Vigilantes. You're a professional officer of the only legitimate authority in Revachol.
Somehow, I doubt that lecturing them on the legitimate... You're likely to run into them eventually. When that happens, I'll be in a better position to mediate if I don't appear involved.
One is obviously the scab leader at the harbour gates. The one chanting the idiotic slogans. He's barely made. The other has a vantage point in a building south of the roundabout. They were keeping tabs on you while you were canvassing the lorry drivers.
That may be so. I still hope you heed my advice. There's no need to kick the hornets.
The situation at the gates is a powder keg. She says she wants to avert catastrophe, but that's where she draws the line. I call bullshit.
That would afford a good vantage point. In any case, it's practically inaccessible. I hope I can answer it better. Until the executions start? Truthfully, I don't know. It depends on their progress identifying the members of the lynch mob, and their impatience. Not on this matter. I'm afraid they consider this...
5 days, not more.
It's a matter of days, not weeks. Yes. I'm afraid this strike may descend in... I am sorry to have been the bearer of bad news. Of course. Excuse my hesitation before.
For about half a minute, in silence. Her mouth is relaxed, the accordion lines knit. She has no excess of emotions for this cadaver. Has she...
Sorry. I was trying to see if I can read the web of interdependent... I can't. But that's how you read this story. The points themselves don't have letters, numbers, anything. Their size, location, close. Port cities. This is an Oronese map of the waterways. A sailor's tattoo worn by wayfarers of the Dolorian century. Over 300 years ago, the sailors would mark their bodies to map their travel. The sailor's soul would use it to fly back home if they should die abroad.
Where is he now?
That is precisely what the sailors feared when they drew these maps. A fear of drowning. Within quite a few. Vredefort, the Oronese capital, traditionally stands on the right. Then he made his way to the Preto Grande, through what I think must be the Stutz Canal, an artificial channel. Revachol. Those are the two constants. Vredefort on the shoulder, and Revachol in the heart.
The old world passing by, and the new world already here.
I can't. This man was no sailor, and these are no ports. I can understand geographic...
In Martinez, looking into Krenel, he writes in one. Then the man puts down his pen and rubs his temples with both hands. Outside, there is a siren. Distant gun...
That makes sense to me. We have no more use for a map of the waterways.
For all the boys looking for adventure, a blood spatter on the seas.
His platoon members? The other contractors? Though I do not suggest you go and...
It could go this or the other way. Maybe if you... Surely there are other people to ask about the tattoo. This is not necessary to complete the task, officer. It's a dangerous side task. Search elsewhere.
Do what you have to do, Detective. I don't think deciphering that tattoo should come before public security, but if you should wade into the mob to find out, I couldn't stop you. Is there anything else I can help you with?
What's this? We're getting reports of normal, reasonable, temperate, political opinions somewhere in Martinez. The air suddenly feels calmer. It's time to become a citizen of the Kingdom of Conscience. I knew we could trust you. Remember, real democracy is just a...
Give me a moment.
You hear someone walking around inside. A plaster cast bust depicts a middle-aged man with impressive sideburns. The name on the plinth reads Kraz Marzov. A poor communard. The bust doesn't. This door is made of metal and
Hello again, officer. Hello again, officer.
again, sir. Oh, that's Auntie Billy. She's nice if a bit distressed. I think she is a bad husband. Not very nice or helpful.
Vigilance officer? What can this all carry beneath? There's nothing for you to understand here. It is not her death you are Absolutely not. She died of pneumonia in her bed at the age of 17. Reversal fair of 91 in the Thorberg district. This was the happiest day of my life. I was 22 when I returned from King Guillaume's IKEA.
The IKEA operation was a 7-year campaign.
I won her back. But
You were like a dark cloud sucking the
Dark cloud.
Those days and memories are gone.
The old soldier says nothing, but when his glance quickly runs...
Officer, the mere sight of police in Martinez makes me feel safer.
Hello, hello.
Make way for the master.
Looking for something on?
The tear machine stands in the corner. Your bottles clunk into the machine, and the money appears with a...
Is this about the questions again? Because I don't really know any.
Right to work! Right to work! Shame on you!
Hell no. I'm just an honest scab.
It just has to be said. That was not a convincing line.
Fucking wrong.
I'm going to interpret that as a yes. There's a...
How about you fuck off now, huh? Fucking loincloth.
Loincloth? Now you see that the man's breathing steadies, but his eyes are still narrow.
Don't think so.
Suddenly, this feels like a really, really bad idea. Silence. He takes the photo. You see dead flesh in
fucking loincloths. Really did him in.
What it means.
I can tell you what this one means. Only one. You want to hear what happened here? Our colonel is deep in the bush here. Deep in the fucking bush.
Bonito is one of the inhabited islands.
He spent a month behind enemy lines, scouting kept villages. Nothing but
with some strange emotion. This is about to get really graphic. Last moment to back off.
Our boy, he's only a captain then, but at dawn, he comes upon two kids, breeding in the... We shot the boy. He was useless, but the girl, she was nice. She was quite the entertainment. For the week she lasted, expired in the hands of Sarge Mason. The kind of guy who'd make Chief there shit his pants and cry like a bitch. God. Mason couldn't let go. Cut the tits off her cold. Drowned in a creek a week later.
Something stirs in your stomach. There's a word on the tip of your tongue. Colorless, odorless. It's...
You bet it was. It's just nature. This guy. No. I was in the domain. In Jamrock. Being a bouncer. Fucking mask is getting sweaty.
He's under orders. And orders are orders.
Go ahead.
All right now. Free commerce! Keep the goods flowing!
On the photo in your hands, the dead man's skin is studded with stars. Tens, hundreds of them, littering his dead skin.
Hola, Wandering Man. How can I help you? Yeah, the janitor who gave me the key to his apartment said the guy's a bit of an asshole. Like I said before, I don't know much about this weasel, but the bossman said he's a real piece of work. Los Ardis? They're an independent militant. They're sort of like you. Preserve the rule of law and all that. Except it's Everard's law. But
is he actually comparing you, an officer of... Come on. He's just trying to keep the peace.
Why not? Must be nice being something else for a change.
The unpromising raise pup.
You missed a...
He fucked the tree up! Fucked it good! It was porno!
What is this shit? Talk normal to Kuno.
The huge kipt made him his bottom kipt, Kuno. Stay away from him.
Kuno doesn't...
Oh, hello, dear. There you are. Of course, dear. Is there a particular... I thought we'd agreed on just one cryptid, sweetie. Your work must get quite frustrating. The most none of its victims survived. It was reported a couple of campers. It still took the no. Alas, no. Instead, all the venom leaked.
Alas. Always alas, and then it was gone. Isn't that overly convenient?
I understand your skepticism, but that's what happens with things that are cryobacter. Yes, a bacteria. Michanu disappeared shortly after. Yes, the bacteria yes, and she's quite mad too. We can assume that she has been living somewhere in the wilderness for... Yes, it's the kind green ape. Yes, it was reported by soldiers in... Yes, it has a mate. Indeed, there is. Which is to say, the kind green ape is a species with which we... In everyday speech, human isn't really a scientific category. Some argue that the kind green... What an interesting question. The Coldamama or...
Coldamama can also be translated as...
Yes. That's another although the low part is a little ironic. Many scientists have asked the same question. Some have... It could be. As I said, it could be everywhere. Plenty. It's the evidence that led... When playing back recordings they had made, the scientists soon discovered they realized that they grew quite obsessed with these little birds. Sequester, time, Joss Camp. That is a sad story. They tried to communicate with it and had psst.
They cancel each other out.
Psst. Exactly. And these tests were performed so
Great regret washes over her.
After that, the corpuscle appears to have migrated. What about what? I'm glad you like them, but...
Can I help you?
The man ponders his cooking utensils and gives you a little nod, acknowledging your presence. You see a heavy steel. The door does. Behind the dockworkers, a ceiling height window. The hawthorn branches scrape the glass like bony fingers.
Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here. Like hell you have. There is no local drug trade. This place is as clean as a rifle. Go back to Jamrock, and that's a mighty interesting theory. I guess that's what you would need to do, theoretically. A big, Strong state.
Yeah, man. Theoretically, that's what you would.
You would need good, trustworthy people to take their place, of course. Hardy men to run such a monopoly. For the good of the community, of course. Boo fucking who. People will always be
Yeah, that's what the labor movement is all about.
Theoretically, of course. We're just talking politics here. My answer to your drug accusation is... My answer is... Fuck off. Mind your own business. There...
And here we go. Back to the usual.
I know! Fatty walked on all fours. He's so fucking fat, he left 2 sets of footprints.
Go fuck your mom, Dennis.
That's more like it, boys. You heard him. It was Angus on all fours. Anything else you need to know?
Yeah. By friends, you mean his squad mates from Cronell.
Wouldn't want to beat up his grandma.
Let them come. The Hardy Boys are right fucking here.
You heard the man. Right here. We're armed. We got...
Yeah. A well-oiled murder machine.
The fuck is that supposed to mean?
We're not bees. We're men.
Easy, E. He's trying to phase you. What he... So are the local gangs. The fucking barmy on...
Yeah. Where are they now, huh? Sent back to Madre in an airtight cargo crate.
We got weapons of our own. We got Ister 50s, Zeelagers. Glenn's got a knock cannon at home. I guess we're gonna see, aren't we?
That was an unsure phrasing.
Yeah, like you've been up against ceramic armor. You haven't even seen the whole suit, right? I've seen. Big fucking surprise. They hire such... What do you mean, okay? Goddamn right we do.
Fuck yeah, we have.
Yeah, we got reserves.
This guy will be the first one to bail. As you look around this room full of sweaty men, swearing, drinking, spitting out tobacco, does this look familiar? You believe the place was called Precinct 41. It was also filled...
Huh? You got a problem with beer?
Not quite there yet. Push on.
Speak for yourself, buddy. We've been giving a shit for 10 years.
They don't know, man. They weren't here. We had 3 shootings a week, kids dead, fucking graffito everywhere. You cops haven't shown up since the 30s.
So what? What do you want from me? We took care of...
Don't let him drink that. One more push. Quick.
Titus?
She stops mid-sentence. That's it. You got him.
You wanna help her, cop? Fine. I'm gonna if you don't, if you question her, harass you, I'm on due. She's staying here at the Whirling in Rags. A real pretty one. Silvery jumpsuit.
Shit. The girl upstairs? That can't be her. She knows you drank so.
Oh, it's her! It's definitely her! It's Miss Oranje, disco dancer!
Yeah. Blonde. Tall. 2 rooms over from yours. Sure. Why not? You've probably seen her around.
You inexplicably add cool after the victim's name, with your eyes bulging like some wild beast.
I don't understand what's so cool here.
Calm. Normal. Try to forget this little hiccup.
Relationship? There was no fucking relationship.
Something is off here. His anger.
Was like that karaoke incident all over.
Okay, enough. All of this is irrelevant to your
He did it before we killed him. He's not gonna do it again. So what does it matter? All right. 2 weeks, maybe? I don't know.
Here you go, boss.
I know her. Well enough, Copper. We partied. She's been here for a few months. You mean Revachol? Nah. Our...
Don't you give her any more trouble. She's just had some bad luck, that's all.
Shut up, Angie. She doesn't need...
Titus gives them both a look. What's with all the silences? It's like these guys don't know how to feel about this. You should keep picking at it.
What do you think I meant? Yeah, we did them. What's that to you? No, we just fucked. That's all. I'm a...
He really went out of his way to seem comfortable with... He's doing a good job here. A commendable performance of, I don't give a shit.
You don't know her. Good boy. Remember what I said. Freight train of.
Behind the dockworkers, a ceiling-height window. The hawthorn branches scrape the glass like bony fingers. There's a little slide panel up there to let some air in. No need to open it in spring. It's still too cold outside. Nothing. Just black tangles like the hair of an old woman. Motionless. The wind in the yard doesn't reach the hawthorn, nor...
Can I help you?
The door is closed.